What is going on, everybody? Here from the backyard again. Just kind of hanging out. Just got home from football practice. Um, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go about this in a kind of a vlogging kind of manner. I'm not going to do the whole sit in front of my computer and sit down and have everything on the screen and stuff like that, which it's nice. And maybe I will get to that at some point. Um, but really, what I want to do is just kind of like, I think the best way to do this is go about it a little bit differently. When I did it last time, it was more like, I'm going to show you how to build a business on eBay and this, that, and the other. And I had never done that before. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what not to do. And I had made a lot of mistakes along the way and probably would have ended up providing some really bad advice at some point. So really, what I want to do is kind of outline where I'm at right now, as far as on eBay, and then kind of provide a little bit of insight from some things that I think would be beneficial to some people. eBay right now, I think I'm up to like 40 some odd items listed, maybe a little more, give or take. The true value itself is probably sitting somewhere around $300 as far as the buy now price on everything. Everything's set up for buy now or best offer. Um, and I've got a ton more stuff left to list from these two extravaganzas of trying to get into this originally, which kind of leads me into the next point. Something to remember when you're starting is everyone's trash is not your treasure. And I think my first two times getting into this, that's what I thought. I thought if people were getting rid of something, they were too lazy to try to sell it properly, and there were profits to be made in that. And while that can be the case, and it certainly can in many instances, that opportunity is not always correct. And what I mean by that is just because you buy X amount of cards for X price doesn't always mean that you bought the right cards for the right price, if that makes sense. Um, One of my most recent transactions, the one that kind of shut me down last time, in a sense of I just kind of got defeated essentially. I paid $100 for a medium flat rate box, which I can't remember the amount of cards. I want to say it's around 500 or 600 cards you can typically get in that. So the per card number was actually really good. Um, the guy showed me some cards and he said that the entire box is very similar to these cards. When I got the box, that wasn't the case. And I'm just not one to complain to someone when it comes to something like that. I made the mistake. I didn't vet the source or the product properly. That falls on me. I've got to dig myself out of that. But what happened is he showed me some of the original cards, or some of the better cards in the box, and I went ahead and sent him the money. That was great. And then come to find out when the box arrived, um, I had the cards that he showed me were in a team bag, and then the rest were just mid to low tier names that were going to be hard to move. They were not liquid at all. And I think when you're starting off, it's very easy to be like, I need more, I need more, I need more, um, because everybody says volume is the game, and it is. Volume is the game, but volume for the sake of volume will drown you, right? Too much water is a bad thing. Same thing with this. Just because you're buying 1,000 cards at a quarter a piece or whatever it may be, if they are low name or no name kind of players that nobody's really looking for outside of just set collectors themselves, you're gonna have a hard time, you know, re recouping what you've spent, and that's kind of what happened. Like there was 15 to 20 cards in there that he showed me that I was like, oh, okay, cool. If they're all like that, I'll easily recoup my money. Um, but that just wasn't the case, right? You need to have, when you're looking at these lots or these potential purchases, you need to be able to look at the lot itself and be like, okay, 30% of these cards can get me recouped to a 70% number, and then the rest of this is going to have to come through at a nickel and dime kind of pace, or something along those lines. You need to be able to look at this and be able to say, I can make it most of my money back on this, and I'm taking the chance on this. And it shouldn't be a situation of I'm going to take a chance on all of this and hope that all of this works out. Now, can I sell all of that? Absolutely. There's several hundred cards up there that are in my office that are $3 to $4 cards all day, um, that I think can move. They're the right names. and the right colors and things like, or the right parallels and, and variations and stuff like that. Um, but they've become names, and I wasn't really at a time when I bought all of that. I didn't have time to sit on it. I needed to be able to get in and out and move things. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I have thousands of cards up there. Some are the right names, most of them are not. Um, and I'm trying to move that inventory. I'm not putting any more cash from my pocket into this right now. Me and my wife have a financial goal that we're taking care of right now, that we're working on, and we've agreed not to spend any excess money on things right now. Um, so what I'm going to do is essentially try to build this from what I have sitting in my office, which is a couple thousand cards. It's basically works out in about two rows full of cards, um, that I'm going to be listing over the next couple weeks. My goal is to get 10 cards a day listed with uh, 15 to 30 drafts put together into eBay. That way everything kind of keeps flowing, and I should never outpost my drafts. I'll always have stuff ready to go. And that also allows me to go through and do all the clerical stuff and fix any errors with the eBay AI when it does stuff like that. So yeah, so just remember, if you've watched this far, everyone's trash is not your treasure. And if you're going to take that chance, make sure you're taking a chance on some of it, not all of it. You need to be able to look at that lot and say, I can make this amount of money back on these number of cards, and the rest of this I'm willing to take a chance on. Okay? All right, so if you watch this long, I greatly appreciate it. Like and subscribe, so that you know when I go and post a new video, but also it helps the algorithm pump more videos like this out to you and people of similar interests. And I'm hoping this kind of fits a niche that people can appreciate. All right, so I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Peace.